Hello everyone, this is what we're calling All the Best Bits. It's sort of like a bonus supplementary episode where we're doing an audio commentary and we're talking about every scene in a film, not just our favourite scene. It's me here, Kevin, obviously, and I'm joined by Will.
Hello Kevin, it's me here, and this is such a strange thing for me because I know we're not going to be editing this, but
we're not.
It's our first time doing this, so yeah, it's I'm looking forward to it. I'm a bit nervous because I've done no homework.
Yeah, me too. This is actually the first time I've ever done an audio commentary. We didn't even do one on our film. We did sort of like a hybrid thing where we cut together interviews, or the director did, John, and cut them over the film. Yeah. So this is the very first time that I'm ever doing an audio commentary, and I think what better film than Jaws. So what we're going to do, right, is we're going to cue the film up at the Zanuck Brown logo, not the Universal logo. So there'll be a few seconds of black, but when you see Zanuck Brown, hit play then, and you'll be in sync with us. So we're going to hit play. Are you ready, Will?
Yeah, you tell me when you're going to hit play, and I'll hit play too.
In 3, 2, 1, play.
And we're off. I'm watching a Blu-ray copy, and everything's so rich looking. It's great. The title card. You on that title card?
Yeah, I was just going to say I absolutely love those old title cards, the Universal logos and stuff. They would always give me a little buzz.
Yeah. And
there we go.
I wonder what the negotiations were for who had what position on that starring credits, between Roy Schreider and Robert Shaw and Richard Dreyfuss.
I'd say it went off of the agents, but I'm just looking at that and thinking that's not a shark swimming. The shark would be swimming a lot faster than that. There we go. Dirty hippies.
I rewatched this recently, and I just thought they're all what are they called? They're all boomers now, weren't they?
They are. This film is almost 50 years old.
Oh my god.
It's insane.
Oh my god. So you see there's written by, so it was Peter Benchley who wrote the book. He obviously did a draft of the screenplay. And I didn't get the actual other screenwriters. I'm so devoid of facts right now.
Well, what they said is that, Peter, you're not good enough to write your own story, to adapt yourself. But it's a hard thing. And I'm sure, when I'm like, 3 or 4 drafts into a project, I'm like, guys, I'm okay if I tap out and you bring in somebody else, because there's only so much you can sort of energy you can bring to a project. So I'm sure for him, having done a novel and then adapting his own novel, that he was a little bit like spent.
Yeah. I remember being asked to, right after I delivered a draft on a Friday, I was on the Monday asked to write the treatment for that draft. And it almost broke me.
Treatments.
Yeah. But to write a treatment for a draft that you already spent on, so I don't want to talk about my own woes, but here they are. Oh, so this is Dusk.
It's all David Night stuff, isn't it?
Isn't it? Yeah. I was wondering if I could show this to my kids. Oh yeah, the other night I watched this myself for just to revisit it, and I thought when I came to the scene, I said, "Oh no, I'm glad I didn't show it to my oldest, because it's a bit scary." And I was settled down, and they're all in bed, and she just gets attacked, and it's ferocious, and I'm turning down the volume, and I'm like going, Jesus, I'm glad they didn't see this. And all of a sudden, my 4-year-old appeared beside me. She'd seen the whole thing.
That's her now. She's destined to work in film.
Yeah.
How old were you when you saw this, though? The first time?
Oh, I was in my teens. I was well in my teens.
Were you?
It was on TV. Yeah. How about you?
I have a very vivid memory of... I must have been about 4 or 5, but I was kneeling down in front of the telly, and I only saw the first probably 35 minutes of the film. My mum was knitting, and I just remember it's the moment when the guys is trying to hook the shark with the leg of lamb or the roast or whatever it is, and my mum was going like, swim, and I thought, what's this thing that's making my mum all agitated?
Oh my god.
There we go. Broke her ribs, didn't they, when they did this?
Jeez, it's so ferocious. There's something really. It's terrifying because she does get like violently tossed about here, and that you know it's obviously she's in pain. She's in real pain there. So
yeah, and you know that
effective.
she's
It's
also
scary.
in the ocean. It just does not look
Look at that.
faked.
Like that. That's a great shot, actually. The way it just goes over there and just stops dead. The energy. There's so much energy in this film as well. It's in the camera work. It is fantastic.
Nipple. I didn't say anything.
On Blu-ray.
What was he drinking? It must have been Dutch Gold. Absolutely
Snake
slammed.
bites.
Yeah. I tell you what, though, it's beautiful there. I would have gone swimming anyway. Shark or no shark?
Oh,
I once went
here
swimming
we
with
go.
sharks.
you did not.
I did, yeah.
In the water, in the actual water. Like obviously,
it was-
obviously
it
that's
was,
the other place. You'd have to be swimming.
I was going to make a joke that they were like VPs and senior VPs, but no, it was off the Great Barrier Reef in Australia. I went swimming with white tip and black tip reef sharks. They were
Oh
beautiful.
my god!
Yeah.
And were you in a cage?
Oh no, this was when I was about 25. I thought you said, were you a kid?
No, I said, were you in a cage?
Oh no. These are like house cats. They're not like
Wow.
big massive. Well, they get big enough, but they give you all sort of like food to sort of draw in all these fish, and some of the fish were gigantic, and the sharks were all like milling around, and you just dive and you start swimming with them. I was chasing the sharks. I was like trying to dive under the water and swim alongside them, and they were whipping away from me. I only learned afterwards that some people get killed by those fuckers.
Oh man, you're a lunatic.
Because if they actually like bite you, they've obviously got serrated teeth, and it just takes one nick at a inopportune spot, and you'll bleed out. But there I was, like going, "Come here, let me grab you."
Oh my god! After watching Jaws at the age of 4, and you went into that.
But you know, when you're with a group of people, you get very brave.
I suppose, yeah, that's the thing. I love that scene we just had there. I kind of one of the things I love about Spielberg's early films in particular is how he has these like really noisy but realistic family scenes with the overlapping dialogue and everyone's in the one frame, and there's you kind of have to lean into to listen, like, you know, to the information that's been parsed, like, you know, but it feels really real. Like it's when there's overlapping dialogue, it's it kind of loses some of the staginess.
This great knack of conveying an awful lot of information in very simple shots, but they don't look simple. They look very cinematic. But if you see them blocked out, he's just basically moved the camera about 3 feet on a track. But because there's so much going on, and it's all about the blocking, the sort of the choreography that he's laid out with the actors, it just feels so dynamic the whole time.
Yeah, and this is a film that doesn't. It has energy from the get go. That's the one thing. There's a sense of there's danger is afoot from the very beginning. Like obviously we see the attack, but even when his kid comes in, the first time his kid walks into the house back there, he holds up his hand. His hand is bleeding, kind of creating this kind of cool subconscious kind of sense of worry and fear for your children. Like, you know, it's
and
very
he's
clever.
not paying attention, obviously.
Yeah. This is another good one. This is another oneer. I just love these one shots. Where we see the kind of action play out. Well, obviously that was a cut there, but
what I love though is that Brody immediately guesses that it's a shark attack, and he just goes straight into right after this writing the report and saying shark attack. So immediately we know that Brody is a smart man. But it's, you know, they've set up the fact that, well, he's told us that he's come to Amity to make a difference, and bureaucracy gets in the way, and he's just a man that wants to please people and wants to get along. So the fact that he doesn't have any conviction, or he won't stand by his convictions, is what is his fatal flaw as a character, and what he'll have to overcome. He'll have to stand up for himself, because obviously, as we'll see as the film goes on, by not doing that, he doesn't make a difference, and he actually hurts people.
Yeah. And it's such clean storytelling and screenwriting, isn't it? It's so neat. Like, again, everything is here. He's like determinedly. I love the energy, even in every shot. Every shot is interesting to look at. Even this, just like there's real depth to everything. And here we go. There's your shark attack.
Could you write if you had to write on one of those things?
Oh God, not at all. Sure, I can't. Everything I write will be. I'd have to rewrite it 7 times because I can't spell for crap. I'd love to use an old typewriter. That. Is that the old guy who was in the water later on? The guy who's given out to him right there, and it was also on the.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bad Hat Harry.
Yeah, I love how characters keep popping up, and again another sense that this is a very small community and it's very alive.
Isn't this where the presidents go on holiday? Martha's Vineyard.
Oh, yeah, yes.
Oh,
that's the guy. That's Bad
Hat.
Hat. That's him. Yeah, he's a bike rental.
Pay attention.
And he's also on the comedy Vaughn's Realty. Vaughn is the mayor. He's right next door to him. See, I'm watching this on Blu-ray now.
Yeah, I wonder whether this was an outtake and they left it in. You know, where up here where he knocks all the paintbrushes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, probably. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. He would not have done that on purpose.
I love the suspension on that Jeep.
Yeah.
Imagine going racing on that over the sand dunes. Bouncing all over the place. Actually, looking at it, where are the seatbelts? Fucking breaking the law there.
Seatbelts were invented in 1982. And,
this is an old people's movie.
Did you have a seatbelt? Like any of the cars I grew up in?
I used to be on the roof.
Had no seatbelts. You used to be on the roof.
They'd strap me on.
Again, every shot here is so interesting. You have the marching band coming through. They're just moving. Nothing is kind of static and boring. He's always so concerned about how the shot is framed.
It's this moment coming up here where the camera does not move at all. It's just locked off. It's this shot right here.
Yeah.
You know, they've got it probably on sticks. In come the guys. But because the
ferry's moving,
set or the staging is going to keep moving in the background.
Yeah.
And the way the guys are going to move around and maneuver themselves.
Yeah. And this is like one shot. Yeah, this is one shot.
It is, yeah. But you know also I love about these old movies? Are these great bit part character actors. Like the medical examiner in the background. The fact that he is going to come in a few minutes and say, you know, and he'll amend his reports or whatever. But he just sells it. You just really believe that he has the authority.
Yeah. Everyone, and how everyone looks. Everyone looks real, as in there's a diversity to, like, people are overweight, people are old, people are young. Now everyone is just
and they were
TV
all in the
beautiful.
20s.
Yeah, Roy Schreider was just turned 18 when he shot this film. Oh, God. But yeah, even as you said, so this is a locked off shot. What an interesting way to stage this, or a place to stage it. Just, we've one locked off shot, but the whole set is going to move. And it's so clever, but it's always interesting. It's just such a rich film to watch the whole time.
Just riding the little ferry with them.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's not like there was some sort of story that he picked up his that jacket in like a second-hand store.
No way. It's wonderful. I love the little anchors on it. Absolutely love it.
There's a lovely moment actually in the sequel, in Jaws 2, which is inferior obviously, but it's also a very classy sequel. And where Mayor Vaughn is the only one that votes to keep Brody in his job. And they cut it. And I think it was a mistake, because it was a lovely little moment for that character where he was, you know, he was in Brody's corner, but he was obviously getting pressured in his own way.
Wow. I've never seen Jaws. The only sequel I think I've seen is 4, I think.
You're joking.
No, I've definitely seen 4,
absolutely watch the second one.
I have to watch 2.
Well, we'll do it on an audio commentary. We'll ruin it for you.
Yeah. Yeah. Here we go. Look at this. Like, again, people from the community all still littering the scene. And this is, we're right in it. This is a pretty big, we're fairly early on in this film, and this is a big moment in the story, a pivotal moment. But again, the editing here, and we've got an iconic shot coming up, but the way they edit this to build the suspense and the tension.
There we go. The dog, the last shot of the dog.
Yeah, poor dog.
Spielberg,
Is it Pippin?
He had a lot of guts back then, thinking, yeah, we're going to kill the dog. And like, you can't do that. And we're going to fucking mangle the kid.
Yeah.
I don't think he'd do that nowadays.
Oh, no. So see the way that you have there's a person cutting across the frame, and you're going closer and closer to him, creating that sense of Brody is just constantly trying to. He's irritated. It's creating the subconscious feeling of irritation. Here we go. There's a first. There's Bad Hat Harry. Is that what you call them?
Yeah, man tits Harry.
We're all getting him, Kevin. We're all getting him.
Look at this guy. My God.
He's
walking
26.
skin cancer.
But again, look at that shot there. Again, someone's in Brody's way, and he's trying to look. He's trying to see. He's trying to protect the community. He's worried. But he has these Egypts coming up and blocking him.
Look at all the kids.
And I'm totally in Brody's shoes as well. I fucking hate the beach. I absolutely hate it. Oh God!
Do you?
I am. I'm just not I'm not a fan of lying around getting burnt.
Oh yeah, I'm not
a fan of that.
Very, very bored. I have to be doing something.
Yeah. There we go. Here's Bad Hat Harry. I love it. Again, look at this guy. You wouldn't see him in a film, though. Look at those breasts. And but like, he's wonderful to look at. He's interesting to look at.
That's one way of putting it. Did you know that they dubbed Brody's eldest son?
No way.
So it's a female actress putting on a boy's voice.
I did not know that.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Oh no, the dog is gone.
See that little kid? His little kid is the cutest kid. Oh, I think he's just wonderful and a great performance. However they got it, I don't know. Yeah,
dog.
Poor Pippin.
Tell you what, that shark was a savage. Just couldn't fill him up. He probably had a worm.
Yeah. As you said, as Brody says later on, he's all he does is sleep, eat, and make little shark babies. That's all he does.
They didn't have science back then either.
No. There we go.
That would freak you out though if you were on the show and you saw that.
Yeah, it's still that's a shocking image right
Look
there.
at that
and there's
shot.
that famous, isn't it? That's audacious. For back then.
It really is. That's where it's like, he is making a statement.
Yeah. And this was 1970. You didn't do stuff like that back then. And this is his first kind of, I know he's done a couple of features before this, but like, first time working with a bit of a budget. And yeah, he's a very audacious filmmaker. He really is.
He's going places.
Yeah, he should stick. I'm surprised he didn't keep with the filmmaking, and this was his last film. He'd real talent.
Imagine. It's happened to some filmmakers.
But yeah, it's still shocking. This film is still shocking because I think it's the whole subconscious thing of like, you really are in Brody's shoes. You are worried about you create that sense of worry for the kids and for the community, and then his kids go into the water and this happens and you see it. It's a very effective shot.
Well, it's a cop movie, isn't it? There's a killer on the loose.
Yeah.
Because this was coming right before like the whole craze of slasher movies and what have you. You had disaster films, obviously. So this was almost like riding the line between the two.
I love the way Brody bangs his head off the accountant sign there. It's,
Stupid Brody. Incompetent man.
But I love it when you have moments like that in films. It just makes it more real for me. Like, here we go. Here you see all of the people we've seen already on the beach. Now we're dressed in suits and and you see him in a different context. You see him, oh, that's a business person, and there's Bad Hat Harry on the far right.
24 hours is like 2 weeks. If somebody says that in ADR, it's really noticeable.
Oh my god. The
I
comparisons.
don't think that's funny. I don't think that's funny at all.
It's great. I don't think it's funny.
All right, Karen, calm down.
I wonder how many of these people were actual professional actors, and how many, like, where were the rest were just like extras brought in. I assume everyone there in the background is just an extra for today.
Yeah, definitely. Well,
and,
of course,
there's such an
Carl
interesting one to
Gottlieb
look
there
at.
is right beside him, and he's the writer, obviously. And he's quite good as an actor.
What? I didn't know that.
Well,
The guy right beside Brody.
Yeah, the guy who was on the barge with them. That's Carl Gottlieb.
I
There
didn't
he
know
is with
that.
the moustache.
Oh my god.
He kept writing himself out of the film.
Wow. I didn't know that. God, the similarities of this. Only 24 hours. And it's like, yeah, welcome to 2021 or 2020 pandemic. It's only going to be 12 months. Here we go. What an entrance. Her face is great.
When he did this.
I'm sure he was language for the entire film.
He was.
You know what age was he when he? Okay, guess what age he was when he shot this.
Right. A hard drinking wannabe Irishman like himself. I would say he was 38.
Oh no, add on a decade. He was 48.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was dead. He died 3 years later outside Mayo of a heart attack.
That was some drink.
And it was some drink. But look at that. Look at his first mate, the guy with the cap, with the red orange cap, standing by the door, and the dog. Like,
that's the producer
who the hell are they?
Zanuck.
Oh, come on. It's not. Stop. Come on. These things will end up in IMDb trivia if you keep going on with it.
That's a character entrance when you talk about sort of great introductory moments to characters. This is one where it's like, boom, he's arrived.
He's obviously clearly, and he's sitting down. He's not posturing. He's not standing up taller than everyone else. He's sitting quietly with his legs crossed, eating a cracker, but clearly the most powerful man in this room. You know, I hate to say it, but he's the guy. His first mate has got a real gimp vibe to him. I hate to say it. There seems to be some sort of.
I don't think he'll hear this. Here we go. This was their version of the internet.
It was a thing called books. Yes, books. God, how did anyone learn anything? Like, I used to like go read a book. It was like, but what book? What book?
I've seen this film so many times, and I always forget that they have a dog. There's a little dog sitting beside them.
Oh yeah, doesn't get eaten.
She's I think she's fantastic, Lauren Gary. She's very naturalistic and sort of. You like Brody more because of who his wife is.
Yeah, the relationship they have together is so easy. You know, even the physicality between them.
But she's got such warmth to her that it's like, well, if she likes Brody, he's a decent man. We know he's a decent man. He's a good sort. Yeah.
You're talking about chemistry on the screen, and when you've got two actors in the scene, you just can feel, maybe they get on great together, but you just feel that they're not, their characters or their performance isn't melding together. You just don't believe it. You immediately can feel the tension. Oh, I love this.
This is such an
then.
Irish mammy type thing where it's like, go easy on them, and then it's like, would you listen to your dad?
Yeah. But also, like when they wake up in the morning,
Tag teaming.
like they're when they wake up, they're just like, where are the kids? They're outside someplace. It's from that generation where the kids were literally just let run through junkyards and as if it was a playground. This is great, yeah. This is that shot that she has. Where she's this. She turns. But his reaction is great too. It's like, how, look at that performance. Just like, he's looking at her
lovely.
going, where did this come from?
So this was
Here's a scene that
this was as far as I'd
4
seen
years
as a
old.
kid when I was like 4 or 5. And it was
And this
just
is the scene
burned into my brain. And I had to wait years and years and years to see the rest of the film.
It's so very effective. The clever use of props and sound, and you never see their faces. This is the other thing. You never see these guys. You never see their faces. That's so interesting. Like they're always in silhouette.
They probably couldn't act.
Oh, maybe it's all ADR'd.
Well, you know, the shark couldn't act, so they could have run it. So
Maybe.
take a shite, throwing a roast into the ocean.
That's such a bad idea. It's such a bad plan. They're obviously drunk. Is this the bit where we see the wound? There's one shot of a leg wound, and it freaks me out. So there's Kevin. There's Kevin and his buddies swimming in Thailand.
Australia. Never been to
There you
Thailand.
Australia. And here we come to this is the shot. There's a shot here that freaks me out. Or a photo. Those all lads, they all grew up in a
There
shark's
it is.
mouth. This stuff. Oh! The next one, not that one. Oh God. Oh God. He's still alive, this person, obviously. Oh God. So this is going...
I wouldn't say so.
You know,
He would have bled out with that.
Oh God, it's horrific looking. This here is so wonderfully, it's just, again, the filmmaking is so ominous. It'd be so awful if we saw that shark, you know, biting into it and just coming along. It's so much more effective that we don't see the thing. Look at that. You're terrified. That still really works.
The music is great as well.
The music, if you take away the
because
music...
it's that time of day as well,
There we go, this thing turning.
Swim,
And the
Johnny,
sound...
swim.
The sound design of this thing turning as well is so effective. Don't look back.
I mean, I don't understand how the shark wearing it like a hat.
He says he's chomped down on the steak or on the roast, and he's coming back. But obviously he bites through the chain at some stage, and that's what happens. Well, no, he's not wearing it as a hat. Isn't this the scene that Ronald Emmerich mimicked or homaged when he was doing the Godzilla thing?
Oh, probably.
I think I remember seeing it in the trailer. I love, again, look at his character. Man smoking a pipe. I just love looking at him. He's looking around. He's mad.
He's the guy
going, look at this
that,
shit.
He's the fella that Quint is based on.
In real life.
Yeah,
Kevin,
Quint,
are you giving fake facts again?
Robert Shaw based his character on that guy.
Oh, okay. He looks a bit softer than Quint's version of him. Again, I love this. Like, I can watch this film all day long because there's always something interesting to look at. Hey there, I think it's hilarious, these characters calling Richard Dreyfuss young fella, little fella. Call him young fella.
Well, he would have
Just
been.
imagine
Yeah, he's probably about 25, I'd say.
My God. But again, like when you think about it from a kind of a dramatization point of view, this is really interesting because the staging of it's great because Brody's trying to get everyone off the boats. He has that agenda, and he's like, everyone's going to die, and then we have this other new character coming in who's trying to introduce himself, and he's juggling balls, and it's very interesting, and there's loads of character going on. It's great. Yeah, it's a great character introduction. So you're all gonna die. I love the way he throws whatever he throws at the. I love that. The way he waves in on him. Oh, hi! How you doing? Watch this. He takes the cigarette.
They bring him back for the sequel as well.
Do they? Oh, I'm so going to watch it. I'm actually going to see if I can get it.
Schwark insisted on bringing him back. He really liked the character. So he's got an expanded role in the second one.
Oh, cool. Okay, I'm so gonna see. Hopefully, it's on Blu-ray.
I can't believe you've not seen it.
Neither have I. Maybe I saw it like on a TV screening back in the 90s, but not really, not properly. But it's not one of those ones you see. Like I've never seen physical copies of it. That's the other thing.
You're kidding me. My God, I used to go down to the video shop and I used to just look at the cover.
No, I don't.
It took me ages to rent it because not many places had it. But it's got the... Actually, if you were to say to me, what's my favourite scene from Jaws, the franchise, the 4 films, it would be in the second one.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at the poor dog.
It's great stuff. Look at it, like this lunatic throwing... What's he throwing in? Like...
Dynamite.
And this blood... That was crazy. Like, they're just throwing blood over the side into the water. Asking for trouble. I always thought that little microphone that Richard Dreyfuss here was serious high tech.
It's his gaming mic.
Yes.
Here's the body. In the dish with the washing. So we're not sure what happened to her, to be honest with you. Well, the fact that she's half eaten, I'd say, will give you an indication. Yeah, but it could have been a both. No, in fairness, like.
Yeah. But do you think she just took a turn and fell down the stairs or something, then tripped into the water? No.
How many boats do you think hit her? All of them?
But again, you think we don't see the body, but it's the way the actors are reacting to the body is kind of selling it all. And
there's an odd jump cut here, or sort of like an awkward edit. Yeah, that one where he lifts it up. See, this is what happens.
Yeah, you can see he obviously shot the whole thing there as there was one long take.
Look at that guy, he feels guilty.
Yeah. Oh, God. He's like, I'm going to jail.
Small town councils, they're all corrupt.
But even Brody says it later on. He says, I'm the chief of police. I can do whatever I want. I assume this is a real shark. Seems like it is.
Which makes it worse, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's a tiger shark. Look at the stripes.
They're kicking it.
Poor thing.
The suits. Oh, the suits. This guy in his suits. They're wonderfully so 70s. It's great crack.
So that's Carol Gottlieb there now.
Oh, the guy with the reporter guy?
The maroon.
Oh, no way. Oh, my God.
The guy talking to the reporter. Yeah.
Oh, wow. There's Norm from Cheers. No, he's not.
Oh, wow. It's a beautiful looking boat. See, because there's been so much, fan art and, sort of toys that have been made based around this film, that even when you just see the orca, it just looks like the Millennium Falcon.
Yeah. It's a very specific colour, and all the nostalgia that's attached to it. Absolutely.
It has character.
Yeah, it really is. The shark teeth on the front, underneath the at the front there. Love this. This guy starts poking it. He's poking it with a pencil. What are you doing poking it with a pencil or a biro? It's just poking it. Like, what do you expect to get out of that? There you go. There. A what?
I find that it's kind of poignant how happy the mayor is at this moment. He's just like, you can tell he gets on with Brody, and he's like, this is great, well done, fantastic work. He's not a bad guy. He gets sort of labelled as this out for himself politician, but you can tell he cares. He cares about the town, and he cares about people, doing well.
And
but that's probably Murray Hamilton as well.
Relief. Yeah, and he's experiencing relief. It's just like, oh, thank Christ, business can kind of continue. And now he's creeping in, seeing Richard Dreyfuss, delivering bad news and going, oh God, no, we've got a shark. But also, here's coming up is like a real kick in the nuts for Cheap Brody when the kid's mom comes up.
Oh, horrible.
And it's a great contrast of emotions from this celebratory joy of like, look, we've got the shark, brilliant, hey, and then no, you have literally the mother coming up in black. Not yet, but she's on the way.
And the fact that everybody goes quiet because everybody knows that this is a terrible burden for Brody to have to carry.
Yeah.
She really hit him as well, and it was a cold morning. They did about 12 or 13 takes, if memory serves. And
really?
He said, hit me. Properly hit me. Yeah,
Jesus
properly hit me
Christ.
each time. He doesn't want it to be fake. So she belted him across the face. 13, 14 times.
There we go. Like, that's a full... Like, everyone's going, oh, jeez. And the colour as well, like, the costume design. Everyone's wearing bright reds and oranges and yellows, and she's there in her dad or whatever it is. It's just in black, So again, like, there's not a bad performance in this whole film, like.
Apart from the shark.
Well, when he's underwater, he's absolutely perfect. He's Oscar winning. And someone was saying that recently, how, with extras, they generally prefer extras on movie sets to not react to whatever's happening with the actors, at the centre of the film. But, in this context, if they didn't react to Mrs. Kittner slapping Brody, it would just be like, what the hell? Of course everyone's going to be looking at them.
I was once an extra on a short film, and it was in a hospital, and I was like playing, pretending to be like a background person that was visiting and talking to a doctor. And there was a big argument that was happening about 20 feet away from me in the hallway.
Yeah.
And so I was in character, and I thought, obviously, you look towards the two people because they're arguing.
Yeah.
But it was so distracting in the actual footage, because suddenly I'm like looking directly towards where the camera's pointed. So I couldn't even be an extra, to be honest. It's a particular skill. You've got to be anonymous.
I was an extra on a Irish soap, Russ Naroon, and I had to sit. We were in a coffee shop or a restaurant, and we literally had to sit over a cold, half-eaten curry and pretend just mouth strawberries to the person across me. Oh yeah, strawberries. I love
elephant juice.
I love this scene. This is a beautiful improvised scene, and one of the, I think the heart of what kind of like makes this film special for me is like that sense of, this is an improvised moment where the kids started to mimic Roy Schreider on set, and they just said, let's just film this. And
this is like, it flies in the face of every screenwriting rule, which is that every scene should push the story forward. This does not push the story forward. It has no bearing at all on the plot. But it just humanises Brody, and you just feel like no matter what, you want this guy to get back to his family at the end of the film.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think you have to balance it out. You have to pepper. It can't be all functional and mechanical and moving. It has to be human. And human is moments like this. You can't get a more human than this moment right here.
Oh, it's beautiful. But, how many producers would tell you, lose it. We don't have enough time. Lose it.
Yeah. Give us a kiss.
This was probably something that benefited from the shark not working.
Oh, true.
It just kept shooting on land.
Yeah, true. Well,
but what a beautiful moment. Give me a kiss. Why? Because I need it.
Yeah. No, normally you'd go into the scene right here. That's where you might go into the scene normally if it was a more slicker film. But look, it's fantastic. And there's a famous urban myth.
No films are perfect.
This is. There's a famous urban myth attached to the shooting of Jaws, like a real life crime. Have you heard this? I've told you this, haven't I? About the Lady of the Dunes.
No.
Well, I'll tell you.
No.
This is if you're on Google the Lady of the Dunes. And apparently, well, not apparently.
If you're watching this while on your phone.
But look, this will be an interesting thing, right? Because we're going to come up to the scene in a while, and hopefully we'll all spot her. There was a murder scene found on a beach, a horrific murder scene.
I do know this. I do know it, but go on, say it anyway.
A guy was walking his dog, and he comes across a woman laid out sunbathing on a beach towel. And as he approaches, he realizes that the woman is missing her hands, and not only her hands, but her head. And her clothes are perfectly laid out and folded right beside her. And, they never caught the killer, or they never tracked down who she was, never got an identity for her, who she was. But in years that went by, people are speculating that an extra in this film is that woman, is the victim, because the clothes that the victim was wearing is the exact same clothes as the woman that we see as an extra, and she was murdered, I think, maybe the following week after the film was shot in that location, around that area, and whatever it was. So it's really creepy once you actually, and she stands out when you actually see her. She's wearing a blue bandana. You would see her as an extra, and she does stand out, and I always find that one to be very, very creepy. Probably completely apocryphal, but I love stories. Look at what's more horrific is the way Brody pours red wine into a water glass. It's already quarter filled with water.
That's a smart drinker, though.
Oh God! Little for you. Little for you.
What's really horrible later on is when he takes Hooper's glasses and he puts them in his mouth.
I actually noticed that the last night. I just went, oh my God.
You get COVID doing that.
Oh man, lice. Cooper's, you know that he's got lice. Like all that hair.
Martin sits in his car when we go on the ferry to the mainland.
He's so leathery.
He is, yeah, incredibly. Is that just... And he was a boxer in real life as well, wasn't he, Roy Schreider?
Most people get attacked by sharks.
Was he?
Yeah.
You can't tell by his nose.
Yeah, he was. Well, look at his nose straight on. He was a boxer, yeah, for sure. And he was also the captain of...
And Lorraine Gary.
She was a boxer?
MMA. Yeah.
No, I'm not joking
Cage
about that.
fighter.
I know that Roy Schreider was a boxer. I'm not joking about that. This is not a Kevin Land fact.
Well, he was an Italian in New York in the 50s and 60s. I'm sure he had to be. All those Irish cops beating the shit out of him.
That's another thing when I saw this as well. Like, he's a cop, and he was a cop in New York, his character. And I always thought, oh, wow, what a downgrade. Oh, he's out in Amity. But sure, in reality, all those New York cops are just desperate for nice, cushy jobs out in a lovely beach resort. Like, what's he complaining about? He's
New York in the 70s was a hellhole.
Hellhole. I'd say it'd still be tough today. God.
Well, you need serious money to live in New York, no, don't you?
Yeah, but any of the cops living in there probably aren't living in New York or working in there. Here we go. You were doing some going through the the sharks. Look,
I do know that I think Roland Emmerich used the hubcap in Godzilla. I think I could be wrong, but I know that hubcap keeps making appearances in films. As sort of a nod to Jaws.
You mean a license plate?
Sorry, not a hubcap. The license plate. Yeah.
This one here. And I didn't know that sharks like to drink milk because there's so much milk comes out of that white. So when I see that, I went, milk? Why?
They were all White Russians.
White Russians. Oh, Jesus, Richard Dreyfuss's pants. That's gotta stink. It has to stink.
My God. It'd be stinking. Take them off you.
Oh.
I think the scene coming up is one of the few shots that was shot on a sort of a controlled set, like a lake. The lake that's at Universal.
No way.
Everything else, yeah, where they're on his little yacht.
Mm-hmm.
Also, why the hell didn't they go out in his yacht with all his sonar and his?
Does he have a? Yeah. Instead of going out in Quince, that's confusing. Well, I suppose they're hiring Quince to go out and kill the shark, and Quince going, well, and he's got a shark killing boat, like. I suppose.
But take your boat too, Hooper. Like, you can go alongside them.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's a gorgeous thing.
Yeah. This.
God, there's so many problems with this film. Turn it off. I'm not watching anymore.
I was lucky enough to.
This is the stuff that was shot on a fake lake.
Oh, okay. Well, wasn't there a shot? Isn't there a shot coming up? That they shot in Steven Spielberg's swimming pool. Am I right in saying that? There's one close-up shot.
There is, and it
underwater.
creates a plot hole, to be honest. It's a fantastic jump scare. One of the best of all of movies. But it does create a big, major plot hole.
And what's the plot hole?
But not a plot hole, but an inconsistency.
Ben Gardner, isn't it?
I'll point it out to you as it comes up.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, when they're talking to the mayor, and he says, I pulled a shark tooth out about this big.
Yeah.
And you'd think that he'd mention the fact that, and also Ben Gardner's severed head was floating at the bottom of the boat. He doesn't mention that, though. He doesn't mention, we've also got, Ben Gardner's been murdered.
It's
like, no.
There's a serial killer.
You'd like to think that, wouldn't you?
We're okay with, it's the 70s. They were okay with serial killers. It was just like, every town's got their own serial killer. It was a hobby. You weren't on the map.
That's a Strange Bob there. Just stay away from Strange Bob. He has a habit of butchering people.
The Lady of the Dunes knows all about it, unfortunately. Jesus, Richard Dreyfuss really does have a lot of gadgets. But he says, doesn't he say it is like, he's from an incredibly wealthy family.
He is. Later on, he says, I don't need this working class hero crap. And I think, you Tory.
I was going to say, there's a moment later on that reminds me of a time where a buddy of mine, his family actually have like a cruiser like this, Hooper's boat, and we got to kind of spend about maybe a full week on it one time, and it was the best crack.
Horrible.
Oh, it was brilliant.
Yeah, but you're having to do like 20-second showers, aren't you?
What? No. You just jumped in the water. That was your shower. That's what you did. That was a shower for us. We were young.
That's seawater. You can't. You can't.
I can't.
You're like dragging salt all over the inside of the boat.
I'm joking.
I spent a weekend on the catamaran on the Whitsundays in Australia, and it was like you turn the shower on 15 seconds, you turn it off.
Yeah.
So when you're wet, then you soap yourself up, and then you turn it back on for 15 seconds to wash yourself off.
Yeah.
And that's all you're allowed, because obviously they have to keep fresh water on board for that.
Yeah. That was similar.
That was amazing though.
It's time seems to go at work differently. You don't mind getting wet. You don't mind it's just I was like And you even get
When
sea
you're drunk.
legs. Oh, when you're drunk. But I definitely had sea legs after as well, because I remember kind of like being like on land or whatever, like just standing at a bus stop and just feeling myself swaying from side to side. And I just went, oh, but like we might as well be in an.
But of course, you know, the drink would have had an effect there as well.
That's probably what it was, yeah. So you were coming up to the shot that was shot in Spielberg's in his swimming pool.
Think about that though, right? He's a filmmaker who has done a TV movie that got released theatrically in Europe, Jewel, which is an incredible film. And if people haven't seen it, they should absolutely check that one out, because it's one of the best TV movies ever made. It really is great.
Yeah.
But you know, he was making enough money that he could have a swimming pool.
Unbelievable, isn't it? Absolutely unbelievable.
It was a different economy then. It wasn't a gig economy.
Yeah. Oh, there we go. That was a proper jump scare when I first saw it. Proper. Like, what's coming out of his eye? Oh, God.
How long was he in makeup to do that? Holding his breath the whole time. It's incredible.
Yeah, impressive. It really was impressive. And like, he agreed to have his eye removed. Like, you know, it's something else.
And there he is, swimming in piss.
Look,
when I saw this as a kid, it was like, get out of the water. Get out of the water, get out.
What are you doing there? This here is a winner, and I think it's great. It's a great economy of, like, it's visually impressive, right? It's not visually impressive right now, but what it is that, like, there's no cuts. This is just one good take. You get a great performance from all your actors because they're all on camera and they know they're on camera, and they have to bring it. And it's the camera moves to kind of come to and ends with a good little kind of joke, a good little punchline at the end of this, a visual gag. And again, as you said earlier on, it's probably on tracks that go about, 15 feet or something like that. And
yeah, because Steadicam wasn't a thing back then.
No.
I bet you all that landscape behind them is all built up now.
Oh, for certain. You can imagine that it is. So they're all just like McDonald's and
just beachfront
cinema
there you go. Look, he's saying you don't have the shark tooth. It's like, well, do you want to mention the fact that you just had a severed head?
Yeah, how many bodies? 3 bodies now. You've got 3 dead people.
It's because they didn't know that was going to be included, so obviously none of the characters are referencing it because it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, good point. No, look, the camera's moving. We're still in that. We haven't cut. We're still moving. And again, look in the background. It's how he populates his background. There's a foreground, midground, and background. And here's the gag.
These paint-happy bastards. Look at them. Help a shark.
Sick vandalism.
I mean, they could have gone sicker.
They could have, yeah.
I would have at least drawn a dick.
And added a few
You're
hairs.
up there like... Sure, me as well.
And it's the poor... Look in the background. The poor... the officer, he's got to go up on a ladder and his paint bucket and just cover it up.
What we're dealing with here is an eating machine.
Oh,
I remember being in school and I was trying to tell friends of mine about this film Jaws.
Yeah.
And I was like, I was explaining to them the how they made the film. Mm-hmm. Me being a pretentious little 7-year-old. And it's a big animatronic shark. And it's like, and they're saying to me, so is the shark real or is it a machine?
Yeah.
Like, no, it's a real shark, but movie magic.
Yeah.
It's an animatronic.
Right.
They didn't understand it all. Idiots.
Yeah. Where are they now? Bank managers.
Prison.
For Christ's sake, tomorrow's the 4th of July, and we will be open for business.
I love him. He's just the way his hair is just constantly being just lifted up by the wind. There's a very Donald Trump-esque kind of like hairstyle he's got going on there.
Don't do that to the poor man.
Sorry,
it's not that bad.
Yeah, here we go. So keep your eyes open for the Lady of the Dunes. I think she shows up in one of these shots. Maybe it's on a beach. I think it's when we get to the beach.
They had a beautiful house, though.
Like literally on the water's edge. It's fantastic. And it's a good shot. I like this, the opening up of these kind of barn doors.
It just makes you want to go on holiday there.
Yeah, there she is. I think that was her. The blue bandana, she was just on that last shot right there on the left-hand side of the screen.
I didn't see her. She died for nothing.
She died for nothing. Well, maybe
Could have at
maybe I
least
got
given
the
her a close-up.
We'll see now. Maybe if she shows up again, I'm not sure.
All these old faces, they're all dead. Every one of them dead.
here.
Dead. You're dead.
Listen, most of the people in this, I was
She's
thinking at
dead.
the last, everyone's dead. Like, you know, Roy, like, who's alive? Well, Richard Dreyfuss is alive. Is she alive, the actress? All those hippies are dead.
She is. Lorraine Gary's alive.
He's dead. The guy with the yarmulke's dead. That boat's dead. The shark is dead. And that was like VR back in the day. Shark killer.
It was.
But incredibly opportunistic
shark.
and impressive video game development to have that game out in just the space of like 2 days, because the shark killings only happened the previous day. Wow, impressive.
Yeah, let's wheel that one in. The kids will love it. We'll get Mrs. Kittner to come along and dedicate it.
Oh my god. Like, what are these lads? There's guys putting chump in the water as if, like, as if the shark does. Oh, there's the other writer, Peter. Oh, hang on a second. What's the other writer? The guy who wrote the book.
Peter Benchley.
Peter Benchley. Yeah,
Peter Benchley.
there's him.
Yeah.
He's very. He's very.
He's not holding that mic up high enough.
No. What I was thinking is, like, you know, he's an athletic looking man. I'm not saying that.
It's called wealth.
This guy, he's got to be
All those
sweating.
people, I bet you every single one of them are wearing baby oil.
Oh god. Yeah, there was no such thing as sun. Oh, this is so horrific. Oh, this bit really horrifies me. He goes up to this guy with his grandkids and he said, "Why aren't you in the water?" And the way him and his wife walk into it's like them walking into the gas chambers at Auschwitz. You know, come on kids, let's have a shower. And it's really horrific.
Jesus Christ!
It's horrific. Look at the look between the two of them. It's awful. It's real. This here is horrific. Come on, kids. Yeah.
Let's all die together.
Let's do it as a family.
It's like the end of Toy Story 3.
Yeah. It's it really that's.
But also, Mayor Vaughn doesn't think that the shark is still out there, and he thinks, you know, the place is well patrolled.
Yeah, I suppose.
You've got all the lads out there chumming the waters. We're fine.
Yeah,
There's nothing to worry about.
Stirring this shark into a feeding frenzy.
There's about 15 sharks swimming around.
And all these youngsters now are going
Jesus
into the water.
Christ, shark!
All the youngsters are going in, and they're just going to go in, and they're going to start pissing themselves and adding more flavour to the water. I love this moment. He's such a responsible young boy. So you're saying this kid has been redubbed?
This kid, yes, his voice is like Bart Simpson. It's like an actress.
Oh wow!
Pants for little old ladies.
But it's so good of him. Like, he goes, yeah. Like, he really like. I know if I asked my oldest to do that, he would just be like, "If you dad, not a chance."
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
They look all freezing. The wind's blowing her.
I love the fact that she whispers because she doesn't need to shout.
Yeah.
So it's for him to lip read.
Now here, this is where my sense of paternal my dad vibes come in. We have kids running towards a road, and one's like a 4-year-old. No adults anywhere to be seen. This is great. And
But you know, if they hit the car, there'd be no damage to the car. It'd be grand.
This is good. This is good. Like, this is kind of, if I haven't seen this film in a long time, sometimes I get kind of like a little bit antsy with this scene. It's not antsy, but like, it gets me. I'm on edge. I'm feeling that edginess.
So this was my scene here coming up for best special effects moment.
Yeah. It was a great pick. when the shark, when you don't see, when the shark is working under the water, I think it's fantastic. Like, you know, like when you see the fins.
Yeah, where it's slightly obscured by
Exactly.
the murkiness. Yeah.
Yeah. It's utterly, it's really, really terrifying because you can go, because your brain does the maths, your brain does fills in the rest of the device. That's it there in the background, wasn't it? This is the fake one.
I would shit. I would absolutely. I'd be coming out of the water with no swimming trunks on because I would have shat them off me.
Yeah.
In fear.
Look at it. I love the heroism of this man. Fuck you, kids.
Get the fuck out of the way, for fuck's sake. Jesus Christ, shark.
Oh, God. Oh. Like, my God. How did the shark... Like, okay.
Do you imagine how much sand Roy Scheider was getting in his shoes every day?
Oh, God. I'm seeing too much. Oh, my God. I'm in Blu-ray, right? And there was
I just thought there as well. I thought, is he wearing any...
I just saw scrotum. I saw scrotum. Oh, my God.
Hang on there. Rewind it.
God above.
Zoom in.
That's the one thing I never wanted to... No, look, the poor kids. Oh, my God.
That fat bastard.
He's just plowed through them.
Well, she's absolutely useless.
Yeah.
Stand there and scream. That's what you do.
There's one really horrific...
Oh, my God.
When someone literally is just, like, gagging underwater, there's real... Like, again, like, the filmmaking here is brilliant. There, look at that. That's horrific. Oh, my God. Like, there's a real
Go down and help your granddad. He's after falling. I will and me fuck.
I love that you're creating all these characters.
I told him not to go in. Go and swim and he's language drunk. He's gone swimming again. We can't get him out of the water when he's drinking.
These fucking Egypt. Look at these clowns. Oh, Jesus Christ. When you kill him. And look, 2 rifles.
Shoot them.
A whole bunch. Jesus, shoot them. Oh, what
idiots. What they think they're going to do? Just like machine gun the shark.
Oh, my God. Well, it's
this is spine tingling. This is one of the few moments in all of movie history where I would be like, oh, I would love to have been in a packed cinema and just, feel that the hairs go up in the back of your neck when she's like going, shark.
Folks, and her voice is being blown away by the wind. She just can't.
Because look at it, you can see it.
Yeah, and that's practical effect. When you see the fins.
So this is it. Michael's in the pond. So because Brody didn't stand up for what he believed in, now his own son is probably going to be taken from him.
Oh my God.
This is the midpoint. This is
That's
the most
it. Look at that.
important
That's
point.
fucking terrifying. Framed in the little kid in front. Oh my! I just got tingles
as it's
right
going
there.
Past his youngest son towards his eldest son.
Shit. I just got chills up my arm watching that shot. And look at this. This is really effective. What's he doing rowing in a bat? He's out there in a bat.
Come on, you guys, for God's sake.
I'm having the bath.
It's so cool.
No, I don't understand why they're
I
knocked
think
into the water.
to be honest, he jumped in.
Oh, look at that. That's it. That's
this is
the one.
Shot, though. Look at that.
God. Oh, my God.
That's the shot that has everybody,
Yeah.
wanting to get out of a swimming pool when they get that. Oh, fuck me.
And there we go. Like, yeah, man. This is the most horrific part of the film. It really is. This is it. And you understand. And it has to be. That's a great shot here. Look, this flyby shot. That's freaking amazing. Even though, why would the shark be?
It wasn't meant to be that. It was meant to be like a point of view moment where the shark actually swam up and grabbed them, or where the diving instructor or the sailing instructor grabbed the boy.
Oh right, yeah. Because
there's a deleted scene.
Oh,
and Spielberg cut it because he said it was way too gruesome.
Wow.
Where the sailing instructor had the boy in his arms, as the shark had him in his mouth, and he pushed the boy away to safety as the shark took him off.
That would be rough. Yeah, and that would explain why he's in shock and the other kids were not. Look at this. And
because he's a pussy.
When you see that child crying like that, Kevin, that's awful when I see that kid.
It's real tears.
Yeah. So you're right now, as an audience, we're 100% in Brody's shoes. We know, and this shot now it's like the gauntlet's been laid down. The music here is fantastic. Music throughout is fantastic, but there's that moment where he knows he's going out there. And
he's going to have to go out there.
He's going to have to kill it. He's going to have to go out and do it.
Watch this guy here now. He keeps looking in the camera. We see you. Stop it.
He just doesn't want to bang into it. He doesn't want to bang into it. That's the
Stop it. Stop it, you fucking idiot. Richard. Look down.
He does. He just did it again.
Sack him. Look at him.
Yeah, he did it again.
So there was a debate. There was a debate for a long time about what he meant when he said he wanted coffee, and people were like, "Did he want actual coffee or did he want coffee flavored ice cream?" I thought, well, these people are stupid. It's coffee flavored ice cream.
Coffee flavored ice cream, of course.
Of course, yeah.
Where was the debate? Where
People online. All these morons online will...
Like, Jesus Christ. It's like, straight away, it's like, you want ice cream, coffee. Yeah, like, shorthand. This is great. You see that?
Yeah, but they take things so literally.
Vaughn, and he's got the ties down. He's as disheveled as we've ever seen him. And he's saying, when he's saying, I'm sorry, I'm truly sorry, I believe it. It's not like he's rattled.
Because he says a line here which, you know, it just humanises him. My boy was on that beach too.
Yeah. Which I think a lot of, like, maybe films these days would completely villainize him and make him a complete greedy, self-serving, you know, businessman. But he's there. I was acting in the town's best interests, and I think he truly believes that. Like,
well, I believe him. I believe that.
Yeah.
Of course, in the book, he was being pressured by the mafia. They cut that out.
No way. It's a bit too.
Yeah, there was a whole mafia plot. So he was.
Was the shark involved?
Of the mafia. The shark was involved. Also, Mrs. Brody.
She was
having an affair.
Oh yeah, I know. Carmo goes on about that. Oh no way. Who was she having the affair with?
You couldn't have that. Hooper.
No.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh no. Yeah.
I love that. That's such a hero moment.
It really is.
That's a classic Spielberg moment.
Yeah. Here we go.
Quint doesn't have that much of a part when you think about it. He's been in one major scene prior to this, and this is the second scene.
Well, he commands the rest of this film. Like, as in, it's his show.
Oh
from
yeah,
now on
he's Poaching.
Yeah, don't drink it. Here's the swimming.
Don't. It'll pickle you.
Yeah. Have you ever drank poaching?
I have, yeah. I thought it was quite nice, very sweet. Of course, I don't remember anything after it.
Yeah, I was blind for 3 days afterwards. But it tasted nice, yeah. It tasted nice. I'd have it again.
Once you clean out the bat.
Oh, yeah. And get the hairs and all that out of it, like, just pour it out through a sieve. It's lovely. I love this.
So this was a set. They built this on location.
Really?
And some of the locals wanted to keep it because they thought it was they had to build it to code. It had to be like an actual proper structure, not a plywood set. Some people wanted to keep it, but the person that owned the land wanted it teared down.
Oh, God.
Very
what
silly.
Idiots.
So they ripped it down straight afterwards.
Oh, my God. I hate it when I hear that stuff. I love this moment where Quint says, time of year was a sheep shank. And Dreyfus does it.
Yeah.
And when he tosses it back to him, Quint doesn't even look at it. He just casts it to the side.
Doesn't he feel like every teacher you had, every Christian Brothers teacher you had? Or he's every fucking one that I had anyway.
He's a type. Yeah, he's a type.
Give me your hands.
Yeah.
Give me your hands.
Yeah.
You got silly hands. Hooper, you've been cutting money all your life. He's right. Hooper's a fucking Tory.
He feels very Irish, Robert Shaw. Does he have Irish heritage? I don't really know.
Well, his name is Shaw. He's like Eddie Murphy. He's as Irish as it gets.
Yeah.
He's very English though. If you ever heard him speaking, he's like Patrick Stewart.
Really? See, I've only ever seen him.
It's like, oh, we Well, it was a wonderful shoot, but I got absolutely rat-arsed.
My vest. You're on board my vest. Master, pilot.
Couldn't remember my lines.
Like, I'd say it must have been a nightmare to have to work with these actors in that era, you know. But God above, the performances they gave and the crack, I'd say, that was going on. You just kind of said, well, we're just going to wing it. Because you know
The
whatever you're
Jaws
getting is
log
magic.
makes out that it was also a bit debauched.
What,
was,
the shoot?
You know, well, you know, on a film set, when you get crews together, this is, you know, back in the day. It was like summer camp, so everyone was just like hooking up with everybody.
Yeah.
So Hooper or Dreyfus and the crew were all copping off with all the locals.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You can imagine it. They're young. Oh, and look at the kids in the background in the boat. But that's kind of what happens on a film set, you know. It's
This
like
movie
going,
is so interesting. We're looking at the background.
No, well, I'm interested in the background because sometimes when, you know, I'm not listening to.
It's beautiful. Every frame is a painting.
Every frame is really lovely and interesting. But yeah, on film sets, it happens a lot. There's a lot of people start hooking up and stuff like that on film sets. It feels like you go into a kind of another world. I think.
Well,
it's
you don't have to tell me.
Yeah. Oh God.
But you know what I was saying on the just recently we recorded an episode on fight scenes, and I was saying that what I consider a quality of a movie star is a sense of danger, a sense of there's a animalistic glint in their eyes where this person could turn on you. You're not 100% ever secure. When they turn on the charm, it just radiates and you just feel this warmth from them. But you're always aware that there's something quite vicious where they can turn on you and you don't want to get on the wrong side. And Robert Shaw embodies that in this role. You know, he's just a very charming character, but you also think, I don't want to cross him.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think to lesser degrees, I think because look, you know, Roy Schreider's playing the soft kind of Chief Brody, but like Roy Schreider has that as well. He's that quality as well. He's got a fighter's nose, and you can see he's been in scraps, and you know.
I think it's his wife. I think it's Lorraine Gary just brings it out in him.
Yeah, and the kids
in these moments. She's just so and the kids as well. They're just so there's so much earnest love, decency radiating off the cast that they've put together around them.
Yeah,
that. You think
he's a good guy. Again, here, look, my attention's drawn to his first mate, Quint's first mate. Oh, poor. This is awful.
Who doesn't go out on the?
Who doesn't go out with them? I'm kind of going, why didn't he go out? Maybe it was just they just didn't have the room or something like that.
Yeah, but you see later on they're chumming the waters. So why do you think they got that chum?
They chopped them up pretty quick.
Quint brings out a bucket. Here you go. Yeah. This thing's got a shoe on it. Don't you worry about that, Chief.
Will he eat the orange hat? Oh, yeah. It's license plates, for God's sake.
This looks like a model, doesn't it?
It does. It's amazing. So now we're in that whole other, like, that first half. It's such a clear delineation of that was the first half of the film. Now we're clearly in the next kind of like.
This is why the film used to get stocked in the adventure section in the video shop that I worked in, because it is a seafaring adventure basically.
Yeah, I don't consider it a horror film. In my head, it's not a horror film. It's an adventure. It's an adventure film, and it has that quality throughout. Like, you know,
I'd class it as a thriller or a suspense film, but you know, it's all those things together. To be honest.
And a lot of it's down to John Williams' score. I think he brings the playfulness and all that sort of jazz.
But also that sort of like, you know, pirate type of, you know, that sort of like celebratory music as well, where they've got the upper hand.
Yeah.
I love this. I hope he doesn't chuck that in the water.
Don't. He don't. Well, no, it's on the deck.
No, he doesn't. Because they're chucking red paint into the water.
Oh, it was the 70s.
Also, also, this is not possible. You can't shoot a compressed air tank and it would explode.
I think a shark jumping up onto a big ship like this, or a relatively large ship like this, is also impossible. Well, maybe it is possible. You've seen sharks break water before when they're catching seals and stuff like that. But when the shark actually like bursts through and starts whispering to him, I think that was unrealistic. I think, you know, sharks don't talk.
They do in the fourth film.
That was my first Jaws
They're
film.
roaring.
That was my first Jaws film. I said
That was
this
the
to you
first
before.
film that I saw in the cinema.
Oh, wow. Wow. Jesus. You were accompanied, I assume.
I was at Butlin's. I was with my dad.
My God.
My dad did not want to go see it. This is such a great moment.
Yeah.
Just click,
Yeah.
click, 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 click.
Oh, yeah, the sound design. And the way he doesn't look, Shaw doesn't look for a moment. And then he looks. It's brilliant. It's brilliant performance. He's just watching. Like, one shot, and the tension is just fantastic.
It's often brought up, you know, as sort of like a conversation piece. Who would you cast in Jaws if they were remaking it today? I doubt they will ever remake any of the Spielberg films until, you know, Spielberg is no longer with us. I think as
Maybe.
soon as Spielberg, you know, pushes off from this mortal coil, I think it'll be fair game. Every single thing he's ever made will just be up on the remake block. But you can't imagine anyone else playing these parts. But if you had to, off the top of your head, who would you put in these roles?
Oh, Christ. Okay. Okay, off the top of my
Russell
head,
Crowe would have to be Quint, I'd say.
that he'd be a good option. I'm thinking. I was thinking. See, everyone's so beautiful. I want ugly people. Oh God, here we go.
Yeah.
You know what?
Well, have you seen Russell Crowe lately?
Not true. You know, again, I can't find
They'd probably
anyone.
put Ryan Gosling as Brody.
There, I was like, oh, Gosling made it, but he's so beautiful. But I loved him in a lot of stuff. Actually, he's great. And I was trying to think of Hooper as the one I was thinking of. I was like going like a Josh Gad. You can just see him casting a Josh Gad or a.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
You know,
No,
you know what they put in.
Absolutely not.
They'd
How
put
dare
in,
you?
They'd put in Kevin Hart as Hooper. That's what they'd end up doing.
Yeah, comic relief.
Comic
Just
relief,
be
yeah.
screaming the whole time.
I'm a scientist.
I ain't going out in that water. You gotta be goddamn kidding me.
There's a shot here that looks again. He's either very. What does he say? Quint says he's either very dumb or he's very smart.
It was a horrible thing to say about Hooper.
I love the way Ray Schreider has the sunblock on his nose, because that's the only part of your body that gets cancer.
When I was in Australia, they used to have adverts that would say, I'm paraphrasing them, but it was something like slip, slop, and slap. And don't forget your ears.
Right.
So it was this campaign to put sunscreen on your ears, because it's something like 50% of all Australians get skin cancer at some point in their life.
Wow.
And the most vulnerable part is the ears, because people forget to put sun cream on their ears.
Yeah, it's something you would you'd understand that. You know, I've often gone out there in the sunshine and done everything except done my the soles of my feet and forgot the tops of my ears.
I'm the same. I often come in and my arse is red raw.
Yeah. I am laughing at Ray Scheider's, like, you know, sunscreen on his nose. It's just like the only place he has it. No wonder he's so leathery looking. It's like, Ray.
This is not a very safe boat.
God. But it reminds me of that one time I was on a boat for a few days, and all of a sudden you just start hopping around it and jumping around it and jumping off, and, you know, you get very confident or overconfident. And it doesn't take much for you to slip in and be hit by a shark.
There were 2 times in my life where I thought, I'm a goner, I'm dead.
Oh, yeah?
If something doesn't go in my favour, I'm finished. And both times were in Australia again. Australia keeps coming up on this commentary. I decided to swim across a lake with a bunch of friends after camping. We'd had beers the night before. You know, we didn't have too much sleep. We'd had some barbecue. And we're just lazing around on this little beautiful beach in Fraser Island. And it's a freshwater lake. So there's very little buoyancy to it. And it looked a lot closer than it was. And so about 3 or 4 of us set off. And about 40 minutes into it, I'm halfway across. And I cannot keep my head above water. And if I stop, I just go straight, direct down like a stone.
Oh, man.
And I couldn't lie on my back and float. I couldn't sort of rest at any point. I would start swimming in circles. And nobody could do anything to help me. There was no lifeguards there. There was nothing. And I was, halfway out, about 40 minutes, and I still had another length to go. And I really thought, that's it, I'm finished. I'm going to drown out here. Because I just could not stay above the water. I was just going under constantly. And the other time was in Surfer's Paradise.
Hold on. How did you...
In fairness...
Go back to that. So how did you get what? Yeah. How did you get? Did you just continue to swim? Did you get your second wind?
I just had to keep swimming. I remember getting to the point where I could stand at the bottom, where the water was up to my nostrils, and just almost weeping with relief.
Oh my god!
Because I was fucking exhausted, and I had to sit down for about half an hour before I could even stand up and walk back.
Oh my god!
I was just so rattled by it. It was genuinely terrifying.
Yeah. And
the other thing was, another one of my mates was in the exact same position as me, and there was nothing we could do for each other. So it was, look at that.
That's horrific.
It really does jump out at you, like when you're watching it, like this, sort of focused entirely on it. How spectacular the shark is.
I watched it. My wife watched it in the background with me last night, and she did go, "Oh Jesus!" I knew I've seen that shot a million times, but it was great to see someone have that reaction to it. Almost 50 years later.
So that line was actually written. You're gonna need a bigger boat. It's always claimed, because even Carl Gottlieb, the writer of the screenplay, said that he didn't write that line, but Roy Scheider said, no, that was 100% in the script.
Wow.
I didn't make that up.
Wow. Here we go. The shark is coming. And
again, I'd be like, Roy, shut up. Take the...
Yeah, take the credit.
Laurels.
Yeah, take it, man. Take it. Here, look, you see that and you go, that works. That's effective. That's a real... That does not look fake at all to me right there. That's a 20-footer. And of course, we've got the music as well. And it's
3 tons of them.
And they sell it, they make it. Oh god, the performance is just really. Oh, this film is so good. Have you ever seen Sorcerer? It's that one freaking one.
Oh yes, that's a fantastic film. Yeah, have you ever seen Wages of Fear, the one that it's based on?
No, I haven't.
That's also brilliant. They're both spectacular, but that's another one where they did it for real. So when they're crossing that bridge, they had to do that for real. They had to cross that bridge.
Yeah, it felt like I think you can watch that film in 100 years' time, and still have that sense of panic, that sense of life and death, because they're doing it for real. Kind of like watching that Fitzcarraldo film as well, where they're pulling a fucking a boat over a mountain. It's insane. And how do they pull the boat over a mountain? Just insane,
That's why these days, when everything is so CGI, and I know how difficult that job is, just because I've got a couple of friends that work in visual effects, and it's a grueling job. And when it really works, no one gives you any credit because it just floats by the screen. It's just invisible.
Yeah.
But there's something about the fact that we know that that's a boat on the ocean, and the three guys are on the boat, and you just buy into it. You just know. You can feel the effort of the people that made the film.
It's all there, and it's real, and it's in camera. You just reminded me of I'm going off tangent now, but do you ever see that Meryl Streep film, The River Wild? Or that was it, The River Wild?
I did. I went to see that with friends. I don't know why we went to see it. It was like, what are we watching this for? But it was brilliant.
But you know what? That's the one, because I listened to a making of that recently, and they were talking about how, again, that's one where they had to do it for real. Because they tried to put rubber masks on the actors for like some of the more intense shots, but they couldn't get the expression. They just like their faces were frozen, so they had to do it for real. And there was one moment, there was one shot where Meryl Streep has to go down this dangerous part of the river, and the director asked her if she could do it again. And she said, "Oh, I'm feeling tired. I don't know if I can." And he said, "Well, please, we're all here," and all that sort of stuff. And she said, "Okay." Well, anyway, she went down and the boat flipped and she was underwater and like sucked down to the bottom of the water for over a minute. And it was the closest she ever came to drowning, like proper drowning. And
I didn't finish my story that I was saying about the other time that I almost drowned. Mm-hmm. And it was that. It was like I've been whitewater rafting and I thought it was fucking spectacularly good fun. Except the guy that was, in the Meryl Streep position at the back of the dinghy. Or a raft. It's mentioned that one of the guys that usually works the route that we were taking, it was like a grade 4 or grade 5 river. It was really dangerous, but it's based on your skill level, I think. So it would be considered grade 5 for us because we didn't have a clue what we were doing. That could be bullshit. They just sell you a story, whatever. But the guy said one of his friends was just killed recently. And I was like, "Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry." And he was like, "It happens."
Jesus.
These guys are like daredevils. But the time that I almost also drowned was Surfer's Paradise. And there were big swells, 12-foot waves. And they did warn us not to go into the water. But, of course, when everybody starts going into the water, you think, well, fuck it, I want to go into the water. Mm-hmm. And it's fine getting into the water because, you dive under the wave and you get out past the wave. But then trying to get back and beat the waves, and the waves are coming every 7 seconds, and they are 12-foot waves.
And
Jesus. I remember getting caught by the wave, lifted way up, and slammed off the hard sand.
Oh, God.
Pounding water, and I'm down. And by the time I come back up again, I'm picked up by the next wave and slammed back down again. And it happened about 3 times, and I thought, I'm dead. I'm never going to come up from this. Mm-hmm. I got out of the beach again, rattled, all cut to ribbons from being pulled along the bottom of the sand. And of course, somebody had been killed on that beach just further down earlier that day. And we were all just being idiots.
And that's the problem when you're young, that's the one thing. Yeah, I did stupid things in the water when I was young. And it's the closest I've ever been to death, I think, as well as water-related stupidity. I love this. Is iconic.
There's so many things that I did, but I'd never do them now. You just wouldn't be able to pay me to do them.
Oh God, yeah. That's why we send youth off to fight and die.
Yeah.
I love this scene. This is obviously a classic Dean Annapolis scene, but what's the story? Everyone, there's all the arguments about, not arguments, but who wrote his speech and all that sort of stuff. But I don't really care. It's just great.
Was the script nominated for an Oscar?
I don't know. I know that Spielberg
should have known that.
Wasn't nominated for Best Director. He was kind of really
because of that famous video
footage. Yeah, it's just what? It's and they're all sitting now waiting for his name to be called out, and it's oh God, he's hurt.
Would you not think that if you're Spielberg, the first thing you'd be doing is finding that footage and having it burned? Because it's so embarrassing.
Yeah. You see the way Roy Schreider, he looks up at his wound. Yeah. Is it an appendix?
His appendix scar.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great line. She broke my heart.
Yeah. And the way Shaw's reaction as well. Jesus, these are great actors. They're great performers.
They're genuinely laughing.
Yeah.
Dreyfus is a bit of a ham, though.
They're genuinely drunk.
Well, Robert Shaw was. He was absolutely scuttered. They had to send him home, and he came back the next day and was like, "I'm so sorry. Can I go again?"
While shooting this?
And he nailed it.
While shooting this?
There's... I think it's cut together from 2 different days, and one of them, he's absolutely pissed. And you can see it because his eyes are wet. And then the other time he's sober. But they sent him home. He was so drunk he couldn't get through the take. So they wrapped for the day. And he came back the next day and he apologised to Spielberg and said, I'm so sorry. I hope I didn't make an embarrassment of myself, and I hope I didn't embarrass you. And he said, that's okay. He said, I can go again if you want me to. And they did, and he nailed it.
Wow.
But he obviously had his demons. Like he couldn't handle his drink, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
That's a horrible affliction.
It really is, and it was an era where your manliness was measured by how much alcohol you could consume. We had what's his name? Oliver Reed lived near where I come from, and he was notorious. Not prison. In Northwest Cork, and he was a notorious drinker.
He was another one that had a wild glint in his eyes.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely.
You look at movie stars today and they're also, media managed. They just seem very anonymous. They're beautiful looking, but there's nothing... You never feel there's something irascible or
the danger's gone, as you said.
About them.
Yeah, the wildness. And yeah, everyone, there are great performers, of course, but you're just missing that. There's, again, that texture. There's a texture and there's a real life worldliness. Like so many had different lives before they went into acting. Like Bob Hoskins had a totally different life. And, a lot of the stars nowadays, want to be film stars from when they're
they're child stars.
Yes, since they're child stars, yeah. Like Disney, Mickey Mouse, Ryan Gosling and Jake Gyllenhaal and all that. Great actors still, but they're missing this edge of danger. But Oliver Reed, he lived close to me, and the door knocker on his house was a penis and a pair of testicles.
I bet the postman liked that. Bobbed up and down like a kind of a top.
But it's amazing. You've got your play within a play. We're in our little stage, and we have our own little performance, and it feels like you forget about what's amazing about this. You forget about the shark for a minute, and you're with these lads in this moment, and it feels. I know that feeling of just being in a snug, and stories are happening, the cracks flowing, but then someone comes out with a dark story, and you're riveted, and you forget about the shark, and that's what's amazing about this scene.
Dad, would you shut up, Dad? Jesus, you're embarrassing me.
I need to go home, Dad. I'm still in my pajamas.
Any other filmmaker, though, or a lot of filmmakers, would actually, especially today, if they tried to do this, they would cut away and show us the memories of this. And it's so much better just delivered as a monologue.
Yeah, absolutely. Just let the performers let the storytellers tell you the story. And you create more suggestion. Yeah, because it does
not matter what the sequence was or what happened. It's how it affected him. So it's about his memory and his processing of those memories.
Yeah.
We don't need to see a bunch of sharks upending. So
and there actually was a film, USS Indianapolis, and I actually haven't seen it, so I'm always curious.
Was it with Nicolas Cage? I saw it.
Yeah. It's not, is it anyway connected to this?
I think there's a couple of versions.
Oh, really?
Because I know I feel like there's one with with Tom Sizemore and Nicolas Cage. And I'm sure there's one in the 90s as well.
That would have been a fun set.
Farewell, and do fair Spanish ladies.
Well, they're doing, I want to go to bed, I want to go. And now you're in that moment.
You just want to sing along with them.
Yeah, you're in that moment. You're just carefree. You've got the drink is in, and then you cut the outside, and then bink.
Hold on a second. Look at the food that they're eating. It looks like it's been shat out onto the plate.
Oh God, it's awful.
Look at that. My God.
There's actually, and look, two plates are empty, and Roy Schreider's is hardly touched.
That's clever. That's
Isn't
where the
it?
art directors have come in.
Yeah,
or the props
yeah,
masters come in.
I only noticed that now. And now we've gone from the horror of his story and the gallantry, where your guard has gone down, to the enemy is at the gates. He is
because now we are 100% invested in Quint, because we know that Quint is a damaged, hurt man carrying a lot of pain.
Yeah.
And he's in the, the depths of hell. He's Ahab.
Yeah. All of these characters, and actually, that's the other thing. All of the characters in this film have texture and depth. They mightn't have the most amount of lines, but they have texture and depth.
It's also just bad skin regimes.
Lack of use of sun cream.
I always find it kind of a bit odd that the buoys have this sort of like glow that looks like it's been painted onto the frames. It doesn't look like it's a real light source. It looks like they have artificially painted.
You're absolutely right. I'm only noticing that now. They have. There's a kind of a greeny kind of tint to it.
Because this would have been shot during the daytime as well, wouldn't it? Day for night.
Oh, yeah.
And so you wouldn't be able to get that glow on the water. But it's not a reason why I hate this film.
Why? I was just going, why?
That was a joke.
Oh, okay. Did you see Spielberg?
We just missed the shooting star.
Yeah, he's shooting star. I just went, when Spielberg started doing shooting stars and stuff like that. There's another one.
There we go. Running theme though, because I've said it now about 3 or 4 times. But when I was in Uluru, which is in the centre of Australia, I was camping out, and you're in a swag, and a swag is sort of like it's basically like a sort of a sleeping bag that is more protected. It's got like a covering over it, but your head is exposed, and you're looking up at the sky. Right. And because you're in Uluru in the centre of Australia, there's no light pollution. And I swear to God, the number of shooting stars, it was like every 10 seconds. It was spectacular.
Wow, that would be amazing.
And that absolutely goes on all the time, but we never get to see it.
Wow.
The barrel is up, it's right in the stern.
No, you got the barrel. How many barrels? It's just one barrel, isn't it?
So far. We've yet to get the
other 2.
Yeah, where it tries to whip the legs off of Hooper. I'm genuinely excited for you to see the second one, though.
Yep, I'm gonna see where I can get it. I'm gonna try and get the set on Blu. Oh, like I have Jaws. This one.
I wouldn't bother.
Really?
Because
okay.
No, the third one and the fourth. I mean, for nostalgia reasons, if you wanted to sort of have that little kick of, I remember where I was when I saw this, or it gives you those little moments.
Yeah,
but they're not good films.
The second one. Who directed the second one?
Jano Schwark, who did Santa Claus the movie, and he did Supergirl.
Oh, here we go. Oh God, I'm saying oh God for a couple of reasons. You said Supergirl and this moment, like that, and when the rope whips out of Quinn's hands, like you just feel it. Oh God, it's very effective. A simple shot, but like you feel with the sound effect and whatnot, you feel the pain that is.
Well, it's that thing, isn't it? It's like in movies, a paper cut will have the whole audience wince, but somebody getting like hit with a sword and people won't even flinch. It's because we all have that real life experience of cutting yourself with a paper cut.
I always, when I first saw this, I was like going, "What is going on? What the hell is Quint doing?" Why is he doing
You
this?
certifiable, Quint?
Yeah.
You hear me? You certifiable?
There you go. Look at Roy
Hit him
Schreider
with
right there.
That.
You're talking about like danger, and look at Roy Schreider like that. You feel that Roy Schreider will beat the shit out of him, like, you know, that a scrap could emerge. Look, here's like the shark is still convincing. I'm yet to look at the shark and go, oh, it looks shit. I'm yet like this right now. Look, that still gives me
The
chills.
only thing about the shark is that they had to give the shark jowls because they couldn't make the mouth look like what a real shark's mouth would look like. So they gave him sort of like these folds on his mouth. So he's got this sort of weird sort of like shape to his mouth. These hinges on either side.
Okay.
I'm telling you, this film is just riddled with flaws.
Yeah, it's definitely going off my top 5. This is actually, I only have like at the moment, you know, where you kind of look at your favorite films, and this is in my top 4. You know, in my rotating kind of list of top 4 films. This is one of them, without question.
It's in my top 3.
Oh yeah. What are the other two top films?
My holy trinity, the ones that I consider to be the most impactful on me, are the ones that I still love to this day. You know, so that's how I sort of categorize my holy trinity. But it's Jaws, it's it's Superman the movie, and it's Halloween.
Oh yes,
all 70s films.
Question,
and I saw them all on VHS.
Same as me. Same as me for all of my favorites. But I'm thinking there was I remember there's a Pixar story kind of thing where they say, think about your favorite films and try and find the connecting tissue between those films. What do those films have in common that you don't, that appeals to you? Not even that maybe subconsciously appeals to you, but be interesting to think about those 3. Think what about those 3 films?
I would say there's an earnestness, there's a sincerity. The lead characters are they're immensely likable and relatable and human. Mm-hmm. They're not like, well, I'm saying that and I'm talking about Superman, but there's a groundedness and a sort of an earnestness to Christopher Reeve playing that part.
Oh yeah,
but you know, with Jamie Lee Curtis as the babysitter and with Roy Scheider, they're not characters that are like giving you quips. They're not like wise asses, but also then again, it's just the filmmaking of that time. It was just, it felt real, it felt grounded, but it felt heightened, and there was a grandeur to the films, and they had spectacular music as well. Mm-hmm. 2 of them were John Williams scores.
John Williams and
the other one was John Carpenter with one of the greatest scores of all cinema. So music for me is like one of those things that it'll paper over so many cracks in a film. I'll get into a film and enjoy a film if the music is good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, and Jaws is one of those examples where a score is doing so much of the work of the storytelling as well. Like, not so the filmmaking is great as well, but it amplifies. It's like the score is the fine tailored suit that goes on over the body of the man.
It's like, as we're just saying that, it's like it's reminding me of John Carpenter said that the first cut of Halloween, he showed it to an executive at some studio, and they didn't get it. They didn't like it because it hadn't had the music on it. And of course, the music to Halloween is 50% of the film. Mm-hmm. And Spielberg said the exact same thing about Jaws, which is that the film just did not work without the music, and that he considers 50% of all the grosses to be thanks to Williams' music. Mm-hmm. And then I'm reminded of Richard Donner just going to the scoring session for Superman, and when he heard the first cues that Williams had written for the film, he just burst into the orchestra pit and he was like, "You genius, you mad genius, you did it, you did it." And everybody burst into applause because he said if you listen to the music, the music says the word Superman.
Really?
It goes, Superman. Yeah, it goes dun 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 dun. It's like Superman.
Now, there's a shot right there. Was these shots now are the moments where I'm kind of going, oh, it doesn't look that great right
There you
now.
go. See his little jowls, the Shaq's
yeah,
jowls.
see it. Yeah.
Little fatty.
It doesn't look so great right there. Once his whole head kind of comes out of the water, you kind of lose the immersion. Oh, poor Shredder's glasses.
I'm surprised that they didn't offer this film as a 3D release during that whole craze of 3D films.
Well, it was one of the sequels they did, Jaws 3D.
Oh, of course, yeah. But God, that
Yeah.
doesn't work at all.
No. I think maybe that was one of those films that I don't know if you were around or you were too young to remember, but it was pivotal, a very specific moment in my childhood. RTE did a weekend of 3D movies, on a Halloween weekend of 3D movies, and they had like
I probably wasn't even in Ireland at that stage.
You mightn't have been. It was like 1987 or something like that, and you could buy like
Oh, I
3D
would have
glasses in the newsagents for 50 pence or something like that. But they had like
That
a street.
does sound familiar now that you're saying that.
I still have a pair, and they
class.
had Three Stooges film, something else, but I think they had Jaws 3D.
Was the Three Stooges in 3D? Oh no, I was thinking of Three Amigos.
Oh no, not that.
Three
it was
Stooges, obviously
from
yeah.
way back. But yeah,
That was a woman's hand, by the way.
really? Why?
They just did an insert with one of the crew members, so she slammed the hatchet down with a machete.
This is an impressive shot. See that shot where the three things go, the three boys go into the
actually
water?
is, isn't it? It's like, how
Yeah.
did they do that?
Yeah, some of these things I'm still going, I want to know how they did that. I still want to know. There's so many shots I'm going, hold on, there's a trick here and I'm not really sure how they're pulling it off. But it's
And
impressive.
it's his reaction that sells it.
Yeah. Isn't it always
seen that,
about
no.
reaction? It's always
No,
about,
3 bars, I haven't.
you have to, and Spielberg often does that. He often shows you reaction first before he shows you something. He always makes sure he goes into a close-up. He always going into
Yeah.
someone's face reacting to whatever amazing or terrible
It's
terrible
that sense
thing that's
of
happening.
wonder and awe, isn't it? They just
Yeah,
start pushing. Look at that.
yeah. It's
It's funny, we're doing an audio commentary for Jaws, and one of the big disappointments, even though for me the DVD era was like my film school. I absolutely used to live for Fridays when I get paid, and you'd buy your Empire magazine or your Total Film or whatever. There was like a selection of them back then, and you'd go to HMV or to Virgin or whatever and pick up the latest DVD releases, and you'd learn so much from the audio commentaries. But Spielberg never did an audio commentary for any of his films, and I've always wondered why.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure he has said why someplace publicly. But yeah, it's unusual because it's such an immense catalogue, but also there was.
What is he hiding? He's
What
got
is
so many
hiding?
dark secrets, I bet you.
And like I was especially surprised because wasn't there this period when they were tinkering, back in the late 90s, early 2000s, where they were tinkering with some of these films, like he did a special edition of E.T., which did not work. But there was talk that he was going to go back
horrible.
to Jaws. He was going to go back and do some stuff to Jaws too, apparently. And because
My
of the
God.
bad reaction to E.T. was so poor.
But he did hold his hands up and he said that was a mistake and he shouldn't have done that.
The E.T. one.
Yeah, he
should-
doesn't consider that to be a film. He doesn't stand by that anymore. He thinks it was a mistake on his part. So he never did it since.
Oh, he's damn right, because it was a mistake. It just.
I'd love to know what his audio commentaries would be like, though. Imagine if he was on here like going, "This guy, absolute arsehole," arsehole.
It'd be. I don't think Spielberg. That's the thing. There's too many. There's sometimes, but would you want to do an audio commentary for your films?
It's something that because we're doing this, we're planning to do more than just this audio commentary. We want to do a good selection of them and sort of offer them to people as sort of nice little bonus materials in our off season.
Yeah.
And I thought about, obviously we've had films. Well, you've had more than me. I would love to do yours, but for me to go back to watch Grabbers, and I think probably at some stage I'll have to, because next year will be the 10-year anniversary of its release. But
wow,
it's almost like going back and looking at it's like a high school reunion type thing. It's just such a very I think it'd be very disconcerting. I've not seen that film in a long, long time, but it's just the memories are so vivid and so intense for me. It'd be like, oh God. Because I remember everything, obviously. I remember the great moments, the bad moments, the disappointments, the moments that sort of made everything worthwhile. The sort of filmmaking is hard because it's obviously it's a personal experience beyond what the film is.
Yeah.
So for yourself as well, with your films, you obviously have a fuller picture of what it took to make those projects come to life, and sometimes
it's years of your life, and to try and condense or to do an audio commentary. The
only thing that is sort of I would love to have a do-over is that during the release of Grabbers, the period that it came out, and it was a very sort of special time where I wanted to sort of soak it all up. But my mom was going through cancer treatment at the time, and so I was constantly leaving the hospital to go and do interviews, and it just nothing was sort of registering with me. It was all sort of like a rush of adrenaline. So I have those memories as well. It's I remember this was the day where I had to.
There you go.
Do so and so.
Yeah, you've got real life. There's good and not so good memories are.
Yeah, they're all wrapped up in it at the same time, aren't they? 20 years. We'll do a 20-year audio commentary. How's that?
Yeah. I think maybe with a bit more time, when you're kind of looking back.
Maybe we've just landed on why Spielberg didn't do any audio commentaries. It's a bit trippy, I suppose, looking back and remembering what it was like to go to war.
Yeah. But I know what you're saying.
There we go. He's put the glasses into his mouth.
Just did it.
Dirty.
Disgusting.
Dirty man.
Oh, it's disgusting.
Yeah. I got no spit. So yes, we'll do it.
We'll do it, but I would feel weird about it. It's kind of weird. You kind of can't relax. You're kind of go, oh, you feel like you need to get everything said, but you can't. But there's so much to say, and you got one take.
Also,
and it's
we're Irish, and there's this sort of ingrained ness with us as people. It's sort of just part of our DNA that we can't show too much pride in what we've achieved. So you're always apologising.
Yeah,
and I think those commentaries would just be very
we'll be pointing out
irritating
the shit
to listen to.
We'll be go, I fucked up here. I this was kind of crap. Oh God, I didn't. I didn't nail that line, or I didn't. Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I would just feel very self-conscious. Here's Richard in the water. No, the shark. That shark's convincing looking, right? I'd imagine maybe that's real.
That's a real shark, though.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was just thinking. I'd imagine that's just stock footage or something.
Look at that! It's whipping along.
Yeah.
They put a little person into the cage.
Oh, really? So right there. Wow.
For some of the scenes with the real shark that attacks the cage.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they had a little person in I think it was a quarter size or half size cage, so
That's
that
good.
a sort of a 15-foot shark would look twice its size.
Mm.
Imagine though, you're in the cinema, you would have been like bursting to go for a piss, and you wouldn't leave because the film is so riveting.
Yeah, here he comes. Oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
see the scale there. That's quite clear. Because it's a 2-hour film, isn't it? It's pretty much
It's almost
Just over
bang
2
on.
hours.
It's like 2 hours and 3 minutes or something.
yeah,
And they have very little credits. You know, you're used to now
yeah.
films having like 8-10 minute long credit crawls, but this has like this person, goodbye.
Yeah, yeah, and it's all like over them, right? Of the two of them paddling back into the shore. Like, here we go. That's still good. Was that a real shark? Real shark? Oh, no, I don't know about that one.
No.
So there's your miniature person. Okay, not miniature person, small person.
Miniature person.
Yeah. Jesus, yeah. The
But
scale of it's
but
pretty.
like, it is amazing. Like for a 50-year-old film,
Yeah, it's still visceral. It's still scary. It packs a punch, and it's still impressive. That's the thing about it. You know, sometimes when you go back to these older films, all of a sudden they feel very slow and locked in and stagey. This doesn't. Not at
I
all.
watched. It's not just even that though. Sometimes it's just the filmmaking itself is your memory is so more forgiving than the actual film itself. If you go back and you watch the original Toy Story now, it is unwatchable almost.
It's still, the story and all is still really entertaining, but the actual
Oh, that is perfect.
the what's the word, the animation or the animation, the quality of it is so low res, like, you know, compared to the later offerings. It's unbelievable.
It's so crude.
That's why
and,
I'm really glad. Like, that's why I'm so delighted that I've had the two animated films I've done with Song of the Sea and Wolfwalkers. Like, they have that hand-drawn, timeless, because it's hand-drawn. Like, even though it's on a tablet, there are like there's people who are behind every single stroke of that, and there's a timeless quality to them, and I think they'll age so well. You know,
They will,
in comparison
definitely.
to all the CG stuff. Like, you know, CG is still an emerging technology. Like, you know, even though we're 30 years into it now, but or maybe more, 40 years. But we're still finding the boundaries of it. But with art and hand-drawn animation, you know, that's been. Oh, look at this! Look, there we go. He's up. He's riding the boat. He's mounted the boat. No.
did you ever see the remix trailer they did where they turned Jaws into like a love story?
No.
And it was like, I believe I can fly, and the shark is like bursting out of the water, and look at that.
Oh my god.
I would be scared to even put my body into that thing, to be honest, knowing it's a big machine.
God, yeah. Look at that. That's still terrific.
It's really enjoying him. It's like, oh yeah, I got you now, you bastard.
At last.
Oh, and it's crunch. Horrible.
Oh.
And that has to be Robert Shaw in that moment.
Yep.
Being
It looked
pulled
like
under.
him. Yeah, it did look like him. That wasn't a body double.
But this is like your spectacular climax where you're going from the frying pan into the fire. Like, you are fucked. The boat is sinking. You are way out from help. No one's coming to get you, to save you. And this motherfucker has an unquenchable appetite.
He's going to eat that entire boat just to get to the
is.
little human cherries inside.
He's like, I've had some stew and now I want some Italian.
Yeah. Yeah. Irish stew. And he had some eaten mess, even though we don't know that Hooper's probably at this moment you think Hooper's been consumed.
And he had some veal with the Kittner boy.
Oh yeah, true. Here you go. And he had some. Dog meat as well.
Fuck it, they'll eat anything. Savages.
The thing about this, there's a couple of shots in here that I realised that they're actually not that far out at sea, because you can still see land. Like, I'm sure that's land in the background when he's climbing up the mast.
Yeah, but I'll tell you this, you're not going to make that if you try swimming it.
Oh no.
Trust me, as somebody that thought he could swim across a lake, that's a lot further than it looks.
Yeah.
It's a proper monster movie, isn't it?
Yeah, it's great. Oh, yeah, you know what I was saying, that idea about those 3 films and finding something that connects them? Well, Jaws is one of my films. And I would also put in there, I'd put in Aliens, I'd put in Fargo and It's a Wonderful Life. And it kind of, the one connecting thing that I look at the way the boat's sinking right there. Oh, Jesus,
Amazing.
I feel so vulnerable for him. Yeah, I feel so vulnerable for him. Now, here we go. The rule of 3s, Kevin. 1 shot. 2 shots. Okay, I just blew up. That's 4. The rule of 4s. Rule of 5s. It's a rule of 5s. Here we go. No. Rule of use. There we go. Oh, I love it.
What's the connection to your films?
Oh yeah, those films. They're all kind of like, they're all stories about They're all they're all heroes that don't want to go
they're
into
all
the
stories.
fray. They're all stories about heroes that don't want to go into the fray, but their community has been like, you know, under threat by this really horrible monster, and they are complete powerless superheroes, but they will go into the fray to defeat them, and yeah, all kind of people. Regular Joe is kind of protecting their community. That's what I kind of see. Ellen Ripley and Brody.
Those are great picks, by the way. But do you think it's a bit of a cheat to have Brody come back? Not Brody, Hooper come back.
It's a bit of a cheat.
It just feels like it's a little bit of a Frank Capra. Like, here's a little bit of sugar for you.
Yeah, where was he up to now? Why wasn't he? He should have emerged long before this, and why he was just hanging out down below in the shoals. But honestly, I am so happy. I don't care. I'm so glad he's alive. You know, we've lost Quint. We've lost a lot of people in this film, and there's that sense of, I think if he was dead, there would be a much more dour. The sense of the end of this film would be kind of more bleak. It would be more bleak. But now that you see the two of them kind of like paddling into shore, when we get to see that shot, you kind of go,
they kill him in the second one. He's in the first scene. The shark comes up and it bites the head off.
No, not watching it. Not watching it now. There you go. Look,
he's not in the second
happy.
one. I'm only kidding you.
Look at this shot.
He doesn't come back for a second.
The tone right now is them happily. You know, they've been successful in their adventure and paddling back into shore. That's what
I think they got to be careful though for those tiger sharks, because we know they're in there.
Yes.
Swim faster, Johnny. Here we go with the credits.
There you go. Special effects.
And Joseph Alves, or Joe Alves, he's the guy that directed the third one.
Oh, really? Ah.
Mm-hmm.
Underwater photography. Like, it's just literally, and I love that. Just give me some nice location, like photography, and put the credits over it. And I like the font. The font is pleasant, and there's not that many of them.
It's very 70s, isn't it?
Yeah, I love that.
That font.
There
we go. Westrex Recording. And that's the end of the titles. And this is the end of our audio commentary. So, listen, thank you for joining us. I hope you enjoyed it. I absolutely loved watching this again.
Yeah. It was good to revisit it and shoot the shit. And talk about moments where you almost died several times in water. Yeah. Grateful. Grateful.
Lee Ferrero, Mrs. Kittner. You played a good part, Lee.
Jeffrey Voorhees. This is the first time I've ever seen that name in real life. Wow. Great film. Fucking fantastic film. Oh, and they actually got out of the water at the end. I actually realised
I had just noticed that as well. Amazing.
Wonderful. Well, great. It was lovely. Thanks for listening.
Maybe we'll do Jaws 2 next.
Oh, well, yeah, as long as Richard Dreyfuss doesn't die. I'm there. All right.
Cool.
Okay, good luck.
So, see you guys.
And here is a clip from the lads' latest Mini Bits bonus show. The full episode, plus 80 more, are available on their Patreon.
See ya, Mossy. I gotta go in and record another one of these fucking mini bits.
Oh, yes, this is all it is.
I know.
What are you doing?
Right now, on the Academy screener site, and I hit play, because there's only a few films on it for the first month or two. There's only like about less than 10 films on it. And Guy Ritchie's The Covenant is on here. So I hit play on that, and I'm hearing we're out in Afghanistan, and I'm hearing all the dirt, and I hear vehicles, and I hear the sound effects of characters walking. But when characters open their mouths, I don't hear any dialogue.
Oh,
There's no dialogue.
they've uploaded the wrong audio track. It's like that Tom Cruise trailer where it was just the sound effects.
Have you met an SP?
Yeah, and this film's been up on the screen site for a few weeks now, and they still have the wrong one here. Well, I tell you what films are actually up there for all Academy members to see, and they see what they've put up there.
But first of all, let's just throw to our theme. And I have to say, the feedback from my thank you ballad it was quite fierce.
The power of Christ compels you.
So I asked Mossy, who is a friend of my dad's at the quiz, sing us a theme tune.
Oh.
So over to Mossy.
Hit the cards. I'm fine, I'll get it done in one take. It's the Many Bits. Oh, podcast, what will they say? With Will and Kevin Cock.
The best fucking podcast.
That'll do.
That'll do.
My God.
Thank you, Mossy.
He would make an angel weep. That voice would make an angel weep.
Telling you.
Beautiful. Beautiful. Boolabus.
It only cost us 2 months Patreon money, so, you know.
Is that all? Money well spent in my eyes.
Yeah. I mean, you can't get much for €20. Will, you were telling me before the intro that you were looking at stuff on the Academy Screeners website.
The Academy Awards. So for official members, yes. So they don't send out DVDs anymore. So how you do all your streaming stuff is all via the Academy website. And the streaming season has begun, which is exciting. So it means for the rest of the year...
Did it ever end?
It does end. It does. After the Academy Awards, there's about 2 weeks, and they take all the films down, and then they begin again at the end of August, and they all start coming up. So it's a whole new collection of hopefuls.
So how many films are on there?
Right now, about 10. Actually, 10 exactly. I can tell you the 10.
Oh, go on, tell me.
John Wick 4.
For the Oscars. Oh, because there's like...
Yes, they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Are they adding it in? Is the stunt category being added?
I believe they're adding in some sort of stunt category.
Breaking news straight from an Academy member's mouth.
Because they're adding in stunt category, aren't they?
Slash film.
I don't know. Did I read this in an article? I feel they were.
I
felt they were.
Have long overlooked stunts, and my God, it's pure artistry.
Yeah.
And it is incredibly, well, these days, it's all fucking rubber computer generated avatars.
That's why that's why these people should be getting their Oscars when someone's actually going out there. Yeah,
go back,
absolutely.
Go back and give it to your man from Mad Max who broke his legs.
Give it to Richard Farnsworth, who was a stuntman and starred in The Straight Story. Yeah, Richard Farnsworth was a career stuntman.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Wasn't that also the case with Machete? What's your man, Machete? Danny Trejo.
Danny Trejo.
Is
really?
It Trejo or Trejo?
I always call him Trio, but he just says, call me Danny.
I was going to say that back to you.
Nah.
I was like, just that.
Weird.
Because we just call him